Pennies, Texas?
But no, you silly baboon in the funny hat! I am from Gay Pelly!
Naughty, naughty, naughty! I am in charge of political correctness here, and you cannot say gay! You insensitive, uncaring, politically unaware person of negligible intellect and questionable heritage!
Well, excusez-moi! Shall we say I am from Happy Pelly? That does not offend you all, does it?
Very good, very non-offensive, blonde as milk test, but nice, very nice. It can't be pro, he's standing still, he's not running.
Oh, wait 5 minutes, he'll be running again.
I think there is a deficit in the laughter. A big deficit exists there. You are not doing anything about it. Say something funny.
Oh, you want funny? Well, how about this? What is the first thing you do for a dragon bite? Run like mad before it bites you back! How about that?
Just there, the deficit, it is getting bigger.
Wait till they hear this. It snowed only twice last week. Once for 3 days and then for 4. It was so windy on Mondays that the chickens laid the same eggs 4 times!
Just there's a deficit.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about the culturally elite in this audience.
Just there's a deficit. It is getting bigger all the time. If volunteers out there want me to tell the joke, I will. But only if my name is placed on the salad on all 50 tables. Otherwise it's bye-bye, baby. Au revoir, I quit.
Placed your name on the salad? Well, I've heard of Waldorf salad and Caesar salad, but I've never heard of Pierrot salad.
It is very much like a Caesar salad, a Julius Caesar salad. Yes, I like that image. You make a Pierrot salad by taking a lot of lettuce, huge quantities of good greenback lettuce. You spread the lettuce around where it does you the most good. Then add great gobs of hot air, a dash of arrogance, and several nuts. Next, you top it off with a dressing of oil to make it slick, a dollop of vinegar to make it caustic. It is a great down-home Gay Pelly, or shall we say, Happy Pelly recipe.
Mr. Pierrot, you are indeed certified.
Well, that is how you are going to talk. I quit.
Well, that really puts this kid in limbo. And I don't mean Rush Limbaugh.
On with the entertainment. Jester, it is time for a change. It is no longer politics as usual. Since I am king, I shall set a good example and get a new change of clothes.
Your Majesty, everyone has been saying that there must be a change, but I think they had in mind something else.
Something more like a bath. No, it must be new clothes. Like in that classic play, that wonderful Masque, The Emperor's New Clothes. Now there is a play with character, a kinder, gentler character. Jester, let us have a play that shall sweetly divert our minds from the need of change, and instead swiftly ignite 1,000 points of light. Trust me on this one. You see, people will think that they are getting a change when they are really getting it. Sometimes one has to, and oftentimes it must be me, but when one's mind becomes focused, one cannot always listen to those bozos, or the peasants, as they say in France. But then again, why should we in England listen to the French, which we probably don't understand anyway? Not gonna do it, wouldn't be prudent. Am I making myself clear, Jester?
Yes, Your Majesty. Ambiguously clear. Nevertheless, I think that we should have a play, and it should be The Emperor's New Clothes.
Splendid idea, Jester. I couldn't have said it better myself.
That's right, Your Majesty. You couldn't. I shall have it portrayed before your very eyes, and in the interest of legitimate theater, I shall enlist the aid of His Majesty's dubious thespian.
I could play the Emperor. That is if the people out there really want me, but only if my name is placed on the salad on all 50 tables. It must be a groundswell of volunteers. I already have a crown I could wear.
I suggest you take your crown and sit on it. That should cure your deficit.
All right, I quit.
Is anyone really surprised? Anyway, I need 2 nice child, and a busybody.
Say there, you! I could play the busybody. My body's been busy ever since I was 14. Making cookies, and staying home to take care of my children, and listening to Larry King Live.
How can I resist? You've got the part, but do it from the tower. We can play the rogues. Rogue, you meant ne'er live who rogue as well as us rogues, bro. Isn't that right, brother rogue? I was a rogue when it wasn't in vogue. I was braggart while the other boys swaggered. I was always willing to play a villain. I was so brave.
Naughty, naughty, naughty! I must object! The Save the Rogue Foundation will surely take offense.
Put a lid on it, dearie. These rogues are in. Now, I need someone to be the king, to play the role of emperor. Someone else with delusions of grandeur.
He who would be, who could, the king. I be he who would, who could, be king. So lest thou be bothered by some wee thing, why don't you all sing God Save Me, your king?
Well, if boldness were booty, and desire duty, I would have to concede. Thou art king indeed. Come hither and tell us why thou shouldest succeed.
My, there are a lot of commoners out there, but peasants in numbers do not me scare.
I should be the king, you clown, because I look just great in a crown. So lest thou think me weird, I will show thee that I'm prepared.
Children should be seen and not heard. Promise not to say a word. I promise. Good. Stand over there. Children, am I right?
Excuse me, Sir Jester.
Couldn't keep your promise, could you? This does not bode well for your political future. What is it?
Can I move over there? It's so drafty down here. There's a little hole in there coming right at me. Can I move out to the draft?
Move out of the draft? Are you daft? Heavens no! Do you want to be called a draft dodger? Sorry about that. Sometimes I just cannot help myself. By the way, did I tell you that my uncle is a politician?
Honest?
Nope. Just like the rest. Well, the cast is picked, so let us begin. But first we must instruct the royal audience. How many of you can read? Really, this is how many of you. When the cue cards appear, all you have to do is read them aloud. Let's try it. How many of you lied to me when you said you could read? Let's try it again. Oh, let's try again! Wow! Now that's better! But don't go getting overconfident. It will not be the same word each time. Some words may have even more letters. When there are two words, read them in regular order from left to right. Tonight we shall see the first and final episode of The Emperor's New Clothes. Once upon a time, there was an emperor who cared more about clothes than anything else in the whole world. He didn't care a fig for the economy.
I don't care a fig for the economy, or education, or poor people, domestic affairs, foreign affairs, any kind of affairs.
He was an affairless leader. He also was a clothes horse. He had a special suit of clothes for each and every hour of each and every day. He rationalized that when he was done wearing these clothes, he would throw them out of the tower and they would float and trickle down to the poor peasants who could admire the cloth and eat the buttons. His trickle-down theory remained popular for centuries. One day, two rogues came to town pretending to be expert weavers and tailors. They got a small business administration loan, set up an invisible loom, appeared on talk shows, and let it be known that they wove the most beautiful cloth in the whole world. However, they said that only a truly wise man could see it, or, of course, the culturally elite. To stupid, dull, or foolish people, it was entirely invisible. Let's look in on the rogues as they are planning their escapade.
Row, row, row your boat, gently weave and shroud. Just be sure you do not load, life is but a scab. Well, how do we start? We've got no machine to sew.
So what?
Didst thou say so what? Here's so what. Let's get the government to give us a small business loan to buy an invisible loom to make an invisible cloth. And we'll qualify as experts because we have an invisible credit rating and invisible references.
Marvelous idea. They'll buy it if it costs enough and we guarantee great cost overruns and franchises in their counties.
Naughty, naughty, naughty. Now wait just a merry minute, boys. You cannot proceed without an environmental impact statement.
Right then. How's this for an environmental impact statement?
It looks like a good environment to me. Wouldn't want to live here, but a nice place for fantasy. I think that's just swell. Thank you, that is all.
An invisible loom. Now there's an idea, but what will we call it?
Why would we want to call it? It's already here. It's not like, hello, Blimey, people will think we are daft. They'll make us to be Costco's for sure.
I mean, what should we name it? A loom that looms as large as this loom looms deserves a proper loom name.
A proper loom name. Absolutely. Fiona, I've got it. Let's call it the B1 Stealth Sewing Engine. Not only will the public buy it, but they won't have the slightest idea of what it is, and they'll never see it. Oh, it's a politician's dream.
What kind of cloth will this loom loom?
This loom will loom the ultimate camouflage cloth for the emperor.
And where did you learn to do that?
I went to camouflage school.
And where was that?
Nobody knows.
Well, hot scam, I think we've got it. The ultimate scam that will make us rich, famous,
And give us a lifestyle.
And so they toileted and toileted all through the night.
Naughty, 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 that's toilet, not toileting!
Well, they did have a lot of wassail. Anyway, they toiled and toiled all through the night. And when the morrow came, so did the good people of the town. They greatly admired the cloth and said, but the busybody did not admire it.
I just don't get it. I don't see a thing. Not one single thing.
Well, obviously, you're not one of the culturally elite.
Oh, well, I should hope not.
And neither did the child.
Did you see anything? Speak up, I cannot hear you. Did you say yay or nay?
I promised the Justin not to say a word, but if I were to say a word, the word which I would say would be nothing. I see nothing and I say nothing. Now there, said it.
For the life of me, I do not know what is going on with these modern-day Renaissance children.
When the emperor saw the rush of people, he knew something was afoot. But they ran right past the shoemakers, so he knew that idea did not have a leg to stand on. They also ran right past the tanners, so he knew they had nothing to hide. When they slowed down in front of the milliners, he thought that they had enough. And was relieved when they hurried past the potter's joint and did not inhale. But somewhat baffled when they stopped at the news store in town, the one with the huge candlelit sign that said, "See what I sew." His chamberlain said,
Your Majesty, that is the new shop of the expert world-class weavers and tailors. The word is that they are the best.
the emperor in a dither said,
Bring them hither. And I am not in a dither. All I want is for them to slither from dither to hither.
though they did.
I am anxious to see what you sew.
This is some of the finest cloth we have woven.
Look at these magnificent colors and that incredible design.
Nothing like it exists anywhere.
Anywhere else, he means. Here, Your Majesty, just feel that warmth and that oof. Never has a cloth warmed and moved like this cloth warms and moves.
Really? I'm having trouble visualizing it.
It must be the light. Men of your noble wisdom and royal blood are generally the only ones with clairvoyance cultivated enough to see this indiscernible fabric and appreciate its uncommon beauty.
Allow me to put all modesty aside, Your Majesty. I dare say you will not find one flaw in this unusually imperceptible cloth.
I dare say you are right. I can see no flaws at all. I must have a royal costume made from this lovely material. Take my measurements, take my gold, and take my advice. I want it full here, but thin here, long here, short here, and poofy here, but flat here, and pockets and lapels, and an extra long tail, and spare no expense.
The two rogues went back to the little shop on Main Street and began the motions of weaving, cutting, and sewing. Each new day brought new cost overruns, and they filled their purses to overflowing.
What about the deficit? I would not give them another cent. Hey, volunteers, are you getting my name on the salad? If you want me, I am here. Even if you don't want me, I am here.
2 weeks later, the emperor was getting impatient, so he decided to send a trusted emissary to the Seabright Sew Shop. When he arrived, he saw the rogues busily going through the motions of weaving, cutting, and sewing. He could see no cloth, but the rogues described the cloth.
Look at these incredibly imperceptible colors and that delicately indiscernible design. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Well, no.
Please help us. We know the Emperor wants a flawless garment. Would you look closely and tell us if you see any flaws?
I see no flaws.
Wonderful. Please tell the Emperor that you have found not even one flaw, and that the flawless garment should be ready in 1 week, and plenty of time for the great annual procession that walketh on to the Emperor's health. It is sure to flabbergast all who behold it.
The emissary thought that he must be the greatest fool in all the kingdom, for he could see nothing.
I see nothing. I must be the greatest fool in the kingdom. I certainly am not one of the culturally elite.
Elite!
Elite!
Yet, if he told the emperor that the invisible looms held no cloth, the emperor would think that he was stupid or less, and fire him right on the spot. So he decided to repeat the words of the rose.
The fabric has incredibly imperceptible colors and a delicately indiscernible design. I have never seen anything like it. Even there, I found not even one flaw. The flawless garment should be ready in 1 week and plenty of time for the great annual procession. The walkathon for the emperor's health. It is sure to flabbergast all who behold it.
1 week later.
Good! You're getting better! Keep this up and you will be culturally elite by 9 o'clock. The cloth was still not finished, so the emperor sent another emissary. He too could see no cloth, for there was nothing to see. But the rogues described the cloth.
Look at these incredibly imperceptible colors and that delicately indiscernible design. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Well, no.
Please help us. We know the Emperor wants a flawless garment. Would you look closely and tell us if you see any flaws?
I see no flaws.
Wonderful. Please tell the Emperor that you have found not even one flaw and that the flawless garment should be ready in plenty of time for the great annual procession, the walkathon for the Emperor's health. It is sure to flabbergast all who behold it.
The second emissary also thought that he must be the greatest fool in all the kingdom, for he could see nothing.
I must be the greatest fool in all the kingdom. I see nothing. I am surely not one of the culturally elite.
Yet, if he told the emperor that the invisible looms held no cloth, the emperor would think that he was stupid or less, and fire him right on the spot. So he too decided to repeat the words of the rose.
The fabric had incredibly imperceptible colors and a delicately indiscernible design. I have never seen anything like it. Even there, I found not even one flaw in the flawless garment. It is sure to be ready in plenty of time for that great annual procession, the walkathon for the emperor's health. It is sure to flabbergast all who behold it.
Yet, the emperor was growing increasingly impatient and decided to see the royal costume for himself. With a party of courtiers, he went to the Seabright Sew Shop on Main Street. The wily weavers were weaving warps and woofs of woven wonders on their wondrous loom, the B1 stealth sewing engine. The emperor, though admittedly no rocket scientist, did not want to appear stupid.
Did your majesty ever behold such magnificent colors? The reds, the blues, the magentas, the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe?
I am completely taken aback by its beautifully impeccable imperceptibility.
The courtiers, who also did not want to appear stupid, wholeheartedly agreed with their emperor and said, such just feel the quality of the material, your majesty, the cloth and wool box out to be touched, the cut, the design, the natural style, so in these days. Forgive my saying so, your majesty, but you will look as natural as a newborn babe in this most magnificent.
I am quite attractive. Always have been, even as a young prince lying naked as a jade in a bearskin rug.
One can only imagine, your majesty. The annual procession, the walkathon for the emperor's health, was ready to take place. The two rogues promised the emperor that the costume would be ready in time for the procession. Each of the men was given a royal medal hung about his roguish neck, proclaiming him flawless royal weaver. They toiled and toiled all through the night. They sniffed the empty air with their scissors, sewed with their threadless needles. And so, in the morning, they stood up, stretched, and shook out the costume that wasn't even there. The emperor arrived for his fitting. He was brought to a royal changing room to remove his clothes and put on the imaginary costume. This is where it gets good. Proper ladies may wish to avert their eyes. Caught in a mortal blind, are we then?
Is His Majesty ready?
Just about.
All right. Incredible color!
Light as a spider's web. Why, if I didn't know any better, I'd think I was wearing nothing at all. Ha! Imagine that.
I don't have to. Is it all right to peek? How does His Majesty look? Let me put it this way. If His Majesty was facing south, this show would be called Northern Exposure. The rose threw the invisible mantle over his shoulders, and two courtiers picked up the invisible end of the invisible train. All the courtiers exclaimed at how wonderful the costume looked. The emperor was very proud of his magnificent new costume as he leads the procession.
I am very proud of my magnificent new costume as I lead the procession. Don't you think it gives me the natural look?
And it did, more than he knew. Then, all at once, a child cried out,
The emperor is naked as a jaybird! He does not have any clothes on! Boy, will his mother be mad! Hey, everyone, look at the emperor! He's wearing long johns with a flap in his hat!
Everyone was mortified, fearing that the emperor had heard. But in fact, he had not heard, because he was loudly singing.
I feel pretty.
He felt good about himself. He straightened his shoulders, threw back his head, and marched on, unaware of his vast exposure.
Did someone say exposure? I could use some exposure. Hold on, I'll be right down.
If he appears, it appears that his appearance will indicate that he is unquit.
As you can see, I have quit quitting and I'm running again. Did you know that you are standing in your skewies? You must face reality, man. You have been exposed. The only thing between you and air is your Calvin Klein.
Who am I? How did I get here?
The real question is what is Pierrot doing here?
I have a two-point plan in being here. Number one, forget number one. I will tell you about that later. Number two, I have heard from my volunteers that my name is on the salad on all 50 tables, so I can tell the joke. I am prepared to tell the joke if you want to hear it, but only if you want to hear it.
Do you want to hear it?
Well, here goes. This is the moment we have been waiting for. Excusez-moi, yo. travesty, but where were you born?
I was born in Piccadilly. Why, when I was young and cute, everyone would call me Silly Little Billy from Piccadilly.
A quite rhyming birthplace. Well, here goes. An emperor from Piccadilly who changed his clothes willy-nilly when asked about the draft, said, why yes, there is one aft, but don't tell or they may think I'm silly.
That was a joke.
Not much of a joke, was it?
Now he knows what it's like to have a laughter deficit.
This is the joke you should have used. Why was the Emperor's New Clothes the favorite play of the Watergate burglars?
I don't know. Why was the Emperor's New Clothes the favorite play of the Watergate Bigelows?
Because it was the first political scandal that really needed a cover-up. Now that's funny. Let's all join in on the walkathon for the Emperor's help.
Stop, Chester! We need a moral for the strange expose.
Yes. Yes, we do, don't we? Well, here it goes. If you think your job is tough and your work never shows,